What's good? We back. It's the Boxing Clinic of more. Y'all know what it is. One time for the one time we grinding. Jump right into it. Apparently, the WBA told Eddie Hearn he had 24 hours to get a deal done with Deontay Wilder. Then, I guess a couple, like maybe not even an hour later, they mandated him to fight Anthony Joshua to fight Alexander Povetkin. And let's get into it, man. For one, I want to know how did Povetkin continuously get these title shots? Well, I know how. You know, this is a dude that got popped twice in 2016. One for meldonium. That was a banned substance at the beginning of that year. Risher Pova was suspended a whole year in tennis for being popped with meldonium after it became on the banned substance list. Povetkin, then proceeded to fight Bermane Stiverne in December that same year, and failed another drug test for osteoarnine. I don't know exactly what that is. It's a muscle building, performance enhancing drug. So this guy got popped at the very beginning of the year, very end of the year, and it looks like, according to his box rec, he continued to face Johan Donhaps. And then about 6 months later, he fought another guy, and he didn't stop him. Then fought David Price this year. So how does the guy in Alexander Povetkin, I'm not even going to get into the Wilder Joshua situation right now, FYI, but how does a guy like Alexander Povetkin fail a drug test in the beginning and the end of the year? It looks like he still fought, okay? When Bermane Stiverne went home, he still fought Johan Donhaps. And then comes back 6 months later and still fights again. When Maria Sharapova, tennis star, Russian tennis star, failed the test, she got suspended for the whole year, I believe it was. Now you see how much boxing is corrupt and messed up? I know for a fact Povetkin paid about $500,000 to the WBC to be re-ranked. This is a guy who's ranked in the top 3 of every sanctioned body. Every sanctioned body. And on top of that, he ain't fought nobody. He ain't fought a Parker. He ain't fought a Ortiz to get his spot back. He didn't fight, you want to say Dylan White, a Big Baby Miller, a Puev. He didn't fight any of those guys to get his spot back after failing 2 drug tests. Automatically, because he paid and he has $1 billion backing, he gets to be re-ranked very, very highly. See how boxing is? See how it is? It don't matter if you get caught or get popped. If you got the money to cloud that over, then it is what it is. Yep, it is what it is, and it's terrible. I mean, this dude popped twice in the same calendar year, and now he's the mandatory after beating 2 guys I never heard of and David Price. See how the WBA does things, when it's convenient? Now AJ is playing hardball with Povetkin. And what I mean by hardball with Povetkin is Povetkin got more money than him and behind him. So this mandatory, he ain't going to be able to wiggle his way out this mandatory. Because remember how he wiggled his way out the Luis Ortiz mandatory. Because let's keep it real. These sanctioning bodies, they want to roll with who gonna have the most money so they get their 3% cut. That's what it's about. WBA, the longest reigning sanctioned belt body. And they gonna roll who got the most money. So they get the 3% from Povetkin, 3% from Joshua. That's the biggest money they can get right now. And they make it a mockery of themselves. If boxing was at the forefront of American sports, this will be the topic of a discussion. This is the joke of all jokes. A guy who failed 2 drug tests in 1 calendar year. Not even 1 year later is fighting for 4 belts or 3 major belts. Tell me, how does that work? Tell me, how does that work? In baseball, he would have got a whole season off. After getting half a season off, he'd have been gone. NFL, gone for a minute. Not familiar with soccer, but how? How? When the WBA suspended Luis Ortiz when he popped for a drug test at the drop of a dime, he didn't even fail a drug test in a sanctioned body. He failed in the WBC. And the WBC did an investigation and cleared him. His story checked out. See, the WBA is a walking contradiction. It's all about the money. And like I told you guys, boxing got to be at the front so the world and major media can start seeing, and the new media is already exposing it, but the major media can start exposing these clowns for what they are. You know, they say, oh, you give you 24 hours and come back an hour later and say, no, you got to fight Povetkin. You know what that was about. That check, MoneyGrams came through from Team Povetkin. MoneyGrams came through. That bag came through. That bag was exchanged. They send money to the WBA. In boxing, they got to get a commission, like Teddy Allen said, and get rid of all these sanctioned belt bodies and bring in the best 2 or 3 belts they can. But for Deontay Wilder, you know, this was pressure from the WBA to sign the contract, and they want to know what's going on, and they see what's going on. They do. And Eddie Hearn had already been negotiating with Alexander Povetkin. He was over there about a month and a half ago, chopping it up with Rubisky, his handlers, about trying to make a fight in the UK. But now that they mandated it, it'd be interesting to see, you know, they already been negotiating. But we believe that Povetkin wants to drag this out to a purse bid so he can have it in Russia and win a purse bid. And Eddie Hearn said dropping the belt is not an option. So they're going to have to go to Russia if he goes to purse bid. Because they've been working on the deal behind the scenes, trust me. Because he was just over there with Rubisky like a month and a half ago. They've been working behind the scenes. But for Wilder, you know, he told some fan yesterday that, you know, the contract wasn't right. You know, then Shelly Finkel said they'd have it by Friday. They didn't have a date on there. Didn't have a venue on there. You know, so, you know, Shelly Finkel has been telling the truth the whole time, even going back to the interview with the Boxing Voice when they with Fury and Wilder and all them, and Ness set up Eddie Hearn in the live. So they knew they probably sent the throwaway contract, you know, contract that had holes in it. Then he took 2 days to answer the clarifications. We said we sent the contract 9 days ago, but you took 2 days to answer the clarifications. They had questions. And apparently the contract ain't sold up. So am I putting this on Deontay Wilder or Joshua? No, I really don't care at this point. I never believe this fight was get done. I do videos on it to continue to have a foot trail or a paper trail. So I can always go back and resource myself. But if you want to fight Povetkin, I'm all in. I watch it. I'm not going to lie. You know, I watch it. But at the end of the day, Povetkin don't deserve that shot. Like I said, the WBA is a walking contradiction, y'all. They suspended Ortiz for failing a drug test without investigating, okay? All right? And he ended up clearing his name with the WBC. But then they take a dude that failed a drug test in 2016 2 times. 2 times. And they give him a mandatory shot. When he came back, he didn't fight anybody. When you do that, when you fail a drug test 1 or 2 times, you should be banned for at least 4 or 5 years, man. Especially when it's 2 different drugs. Even the same drugs. You know? He got 6 months off, man. No time off, really. Maybe 6 months off. Because he fought Dunhaps in December 17th, 2016. You know? Then he comes back and he fights 2 guys I never heard of. And David Price, and all of a sudden you're the mandatory? No. That shows you that money corrupts the WBA. You know? It shows that. This dude is ranked number 1 in WBA, number 1 WBO, like number 3 in IBF, and number 3 in the WBC. And the WBC was pushing for him to fight Deontay Wilder. After he failed the test versus Deontay Wilder. They had an article, we really want him to fight Povetkin, man. It's all about the money, man. They gotta get these sanctioned belt bodies up out of here, man. They getting in the way. Get some real titles up in here. Some real meaningful titles that's not corrupt, that's not reaching for money. You know, but like I said, you know, I don't think Wilder has the chance to send a contract in. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. Joshua and his team, you know, they never wanted it. You know, they didn't want it right now. They want to get Povetkin out the way the whole way. The reason why the Povetkin fight never materialized, even WBA said, oh, we gave them extra month. Man, everybody knew that this fight wasn't going to materialize because Joshua team, they want to take care of Povetkin first. You know, they was coming up with all excuses, turning out $50 million. You know, if I'm Wilder, when they turn down $50 million or whatever, and then I rebuttal and said, well, I want this amount of money to come to the UK, and they couldn't, and they gave me another low ball offer, I just walk away from the situation, you know? Because at the end of the day, he gonna be the one that continues to look bad. You know, everybody's already against him. You know, oh, Wilder signed the contract and this and that, and this and that. And that's why you see guys sign the contract in music business, and they just go ahead and sign their name and they get fucked. You never know what that contract could have said. Could have had options on them from Eddie Hearn. You know? You never know. What it could have said. Oh, you could sign, you know, do this and this. Or you got to rematch Joshua here, there, and there. You know, never what it could have said in particulars. Eddie Hearn is a liar. He said, I sent a standard contract. I believe you, bro. You know, but Wilder made himself look bad. After $50 million and after they said no, and you rebuttal with your offer, if they can give you an offer, you should have just walked away. You know, if they want the last piece of the puzzle, they want the last piece of the puzzle. Because at the end of the day, either you was going to compromise in the beginning after the $50 million, or you wasn't going to compromise. You know, and you want to compromise at the last minute. I mean, and then knowing they're going to give you a bold contract, you shouldn't even have said nothing else. He ain't above criticism here, and he could be telling the truth. And Shelly Finkel was laying it out yesterday in the article I read. He was telling, you know, him saying at the end of the day, they handled this wrong too. From the beginning, you gave him his $50 million. He didn't want it. All right. He said, come to the UK. If you like the deal, you like the deal. If not, you not. You know you don't have no other better option. So at this $50 million, you see what else they offered you, and if it was the same offer, if it was below market value, you should have been like, you know what? No, I'm good. I'm gonna sit out and wait. You know, or I'm gonna go ahead and take the deal and compromise and do that. You know, the meaning behind why waiting 4 weeks, I don't know. You know, maybe they was trying to work on something else, and he said, "Oh, Tyson Fury ain't fighting nobody." You see how he was looking? Please stop the Tyson Fury's talks. Please stop giving this another PED user and abuser FaceTime. Seriously, stop giving that man FaceTime. Did y'all see how he looked in his last fight? Sloppy. He might not come back from all them PED uses and that cocaine uses. He might not. So that's not an option for Deontay Wilder. Wilder going to have to fight Brazil, even though he don't have to fight him right now. He can make a fight with Big Baby Miller. That makes sense. But other than that, he don't have too many options. And AJ obviously don't have too many options. He got to fight Povetkin. You know, but at the end of the day, I mean, you know, it is what it is, man. You know, I mean, they've been working on a Povetkin deal for six weeks. And you know Povetkin team want to drag it to purse bid. And Eddie pockets ain't that deep. You know, but if they can hash a deal out, they can hash a deal out going to the UK. You know, if Eddie was smart, he should have made that David Price fight a 2-fight deal. You know, you want to fight Price, you know, you got to go ahead and fight. You win, you got to fight AJ in the UK or something like that. Maybe he tried and they didn't go for it. But, you know, WBA, you know, they finally ordered Povetkin and Joshua. First they said they gave Joshua 24 hours to fight Povetkin. Then they came back like an hour later and changed, said he got to fight him now. And that was just Povetkin's team sending money over. That's as simple as it was. Boxing is so corrupt and these sanctioned bodies so corrupt. You know, it is what it is, man. It's the Boxing Clinic and more. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You want to donate the PayPal link. All those links are in the description or username. Definitely appreciate you guys for listening. Getting it in early in the morning real quick. But y'all know what it is, man. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit the bell icon when you know we upload and go live. And also share the videos, man. Most definitely appreciate it, man. We'll continue to keep it moving a little bit later. And we're going to stay on top of the game, man. And, you know, keep talking that boxing-ish. And apparently Khan is going to announce his opponent Thursday. Probably going to